Osubrila, my people, yes, Osubrila, everybody don dey para. The zoo don dey shake. Yes, they don dey shake because of say a strong man wey go give them woto don dey knack them already. Donald Trump of the United States, the strongest man. In question, yes, Donald Trump is the strongest president currently. Check out president we enter just in less than 24 hours. The whole world they rig him. Both Russia they collect. The zoo, that one a steady collect. Already they sign bills where we say, we go even affect the zoo notoriously. Yes, but we are hoping as Biafrans that this Trump government will favor every Biafra. But make we knack you waiting they happen as Ngozi Orabueze don't use vex so they holla for Finland. Ngozi Orabueze they talk say Finland they work in conjunction with the zoo to frustrate the struggle. Yes, now so she they talk am because the matter where she they talk, if you look with two eyes, you go see say this matter makes sense. Actually, yes, this matter gets sense for the talk. I go drop videos of that matter. But meanwhile, make we knack you the news. Yes, for English based on Ngozi Orabueze outburst. The news: Finland, Nigeria in secret deal to frustrate Biafra agitation. Orabueze Ngozi alleges. So, and the story, make we go straight up to the story. Biafran activist Mr. Simon Ekpa, second in command, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, has claimed that Finland and Nigeria are in a secret bargain to frustrate Biafran actualization. As so she talk Orabueze disclosed this in a statement on Thursday, accusing the Finnish government of deliberately prolonging the detention of Simon Ekpa. Now, make I ask you the question: why then they prolong the release of Simon Ekpa? Why is Simon Ekpa still in detention? In as much as we are getting information that the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, will be released in less than a few days. You can check that news. I just dropped a news on that. You can check it on our other channel, our main channel, that is Let's Talk TV. As I follow you talk, the news is ongoing right now. Now, make we go straight up to that one. Now, Orabueze called them. According to her, the arrest of Simon Ekpa was an unlawful ploy to physically, mentally, and psychologically frustrate him to draw Biafran agitation. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze called for the immediate release of Simon Ekpa while the investigation of his alleged offenses continues in line with the European Union treaties. It's as simple as that. Make we talk reality. You detained a man. Waiting, I know, say America, or these foreign countries that are developed, they do. Once you are being questioned, you are being interrogated, just the same way, they did the first time. Waiting then go do, na very simple thing. Once the investigation still they go, then go release you. They go release you, make you go home. Why they continue to investigate? Now, the big question be say, why Finland still they hold Simon Ekpa? And if you now remember, no forget say the vice president of the Zoological Republic of the Janjaweed Animal Kingdom, that man will be terrorist. That man will be said, even the whole world knows he be terrorist. Been travel go Finland. And he met with the Finnish president one-on-one. And they had a heart-to-heart rapport. Don't forget, say, he know today where he make that waka, where he make that move, then cramp the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and Joko. So all their interrogation. Say dem wan see dey tell me say dem still dey do question and answer since then. They have come out to say, na dem use their own mouth talk say they are not holding the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa for any terrorism related charges. That is what they said. They still confirmed that Simon Ekpa is not a terrorist. Now, what is the problem? That is the big question. And Nana Ngozi Orabueze, they do wetin I want. I don't talk am say this woman has potential, but I think she's losing focus by all this propaganda wey dey happen. Now she don dey handle the real matter wey we wan make she handle. And na the sweetest part of this whole thing, I love the fact that she came out, she has started talking directly to the Finnish government. Dem no get anything wey dem fit come out now talk say the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa do dem. Dem no hold anything, just the same way the Nigerian government no hold anything against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All the thing wey dem hold na just propaganda and allegation that they cannot even defend. But make we continue for this news. Make we round up. Yes, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze continue with the matter. They talk say the unlawful action by the Finnish government is to psychologically, physically, and emotionally break Simon Ekpa, echoing the same context as the Organization of Emerging African States (OAS). Finland action to hurt African freedom fighter is not only destructive to innocent individuals seeking self-determination, but also increases the death of innocent citizens that are being protected by the freedom fighters. Finland and Norway should respect human rights, self-determination, and self-defense, and not participate in the criminalization of the freedom fighter such as Simon Ekpa. He should be released while the investigation continues. It is as simple as that. Make I stop this matter for here. It is as simple as that. Even as the investigation is going on, the thing they need to do is to release the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoko. It doesn't stop their investigation, And Simon Ekpa is a full citizen of Finland, a lawyer and also a politician who has defended them, and he is also a fighter that has defended them. So why will he be treated like an outcast? That is the big question. It is actually shameful because we held Finland as a very great nation that understands the rule of law, because this is a country that fought for freedom. But as it stands, they are actually disappointing the indigenous people. Now, make we hear from Ngozi Orabueze directly, the woman with the shake everywhere.
And we have, therefore, had a board meeting, and we've done an investigation of his detention, as well as the detention of Biafra's best ally, Ayaba Cho Lucas of Amazonia, who is also detained on similar charges in Norway. And we've looked into this, and the Organization of Emerging African States has come to some conclusions, and we're issuing a public declaration today regarding your Prime Minister, as well as Ayaba Lucas Cho. There's these two cases are linked. As you know, Prime Minister Èkpá was taken into custody by the Finland authorities, and he remains there under investigation. What you may not know is the conditions of his detention are very harsh. Solitary confinement. His access to the outside world is limited. So we know this because we have debriefed 3 of the other 4 detainees who have since been released. There's very serious concerns on the part of OES about how they were treated. So this was done, and we believe the conditions that Cho are imprisoned under in Norway are quite similar. In Norway and Finland, of course, they could imprison people, detain people, they call it, on remand, almost indefinitely while they continue to investigate the allegations. The main concern, besides the conditions of the OAS, which we are very distressed about, the main concern is how these allegations against Cho and Ekpa came about, and who was behind these allegations. Was it the government of Finland and Norway? No, they are complicit in this, but we know that in August, a delegation of Nordic ministers, including the foreign minister of Finland, went to Abuja, where they met with representatives of Nigerian government and ECOWAS. And at that time, it was noted that in the Nigerian press, the foreign minister of Finland was quoted as saying that she would soon have Simon Ekpa arrested. Now, at the time, the prime minister was aware of that, and we just kind of wrote that off. Simon Ekpa, he's an EU citizen. This cannot happen. This is just the Nigerian press. But what was that meaning about of the Nordic ministers and the Nigerians in ECOWAS? Well, it had to do with political and economic favors that were being exchanged. And shortly thereafter, of course, Lucas Cho was arrested in Norway in August. And again, we thought, well, maybe that's just a coincidence. But now we see Simon Ekpa arrested in November of this year on similar charges. So it's clear that this is a quid pro quo situation. It has the appearance here, the OAS, that Norway and Finland were promised favors by the Nigerian and Cameroonian governments. And in exchange for those favors, they were to deliver up, or at least take out of circulation, neutralize Simon Ekpa and Ayaba Lucas Cho. So, and that is indeed what happened, and that is indeed the appearance here. And I might point out, both Ekpa and Cho are EU citizens of Finland and Germany. That did not matter. They are sitting there in solitary confinement right now, facing charges. Now, what are the charges? Well, very similar. In the case of Cho in Norway, it is something to do with instigating crimes against humanity using the internet or some nonsense like that. And in the case of the prime minister, similar charges, except they're throwing the word terrorism about, that they're investigating. Somehow he's involved with terrorism. They don't even, specify what the terrorist organization is or what's going on with that. So the allegations are coming directly from the oppressors, from Cameroon and Nigeria. And both Cameroon and Nigeria are well-known human rights abusers. Of course, I don't need to tell you as Biafrans what has happened in Biafra and Nigeria as a whole in the last 20 years. I don't need to tell you what's going on in neighboring Ambazonia for the last 5 years or more. How many people have been killed? How many people are killed each year in Nigeria? This is a fact. Yet, Finland and Norway are taking the allegations from these two countries that are the human rights abusers. So we have a lot of concern about the source of the allegations, because if there are human rights abuses, it is the direct fault of Nigeria. It's the direct fault of Cameroon. If people are defending themselves after years of being subjugated to this, that is the fault of the oppressing governments. That's not a crime. So we have a concern, and of course, it's not like Norway and Finland don't know the circumstances. As you know, there was a large report issued a few months ago about the deaths of Christians in Nigeria over the last few years. But yet they're taking the information from the Nigerian government. And we see General Musa making the head of the Nigerian armed forces, making public pronouncements just in the last few weeks that he will neutralize Simon Ekpa, remove him from circulation. And we see the state governors in Nigeria saying the same thing, making new allegations against Simon Ekpa. And we see their mouthpieces in the Nigerian press and the provocateurs that are part of the security system making the same allegations. So OES is very concerned that the governments of Norway and Finland are conducting an investigation based on information that is solely provided by human rights abusers. The people who are responsible for the crimes are the ones who are accusing Simon Ekpa of the crime. So we're concerned about that, and we're coming forward with our declaration, which is in the hands of the DPM, and which we will be distributed worldwide in the next few days. We also are suggesting that if Finland and Norway are really doing an investigation of what is going on in Cameroon and Nigeria and Amazonia and Biafra, that when they do actually discover war crimes, genocide, and crimes against humanity, which we know have happened, but those crimes are being committed by the agents and armed forces of Cameroon and Nigeria. And therefore, we're telling Norway and Finland that they need to refer the matter of the crimes being committed by Nigeria and Cameroon to the International Criminal Court, which has the appropriate level of expertise to evaluate these crimes. So this is what's being done on the international level. And again, the victims of this are holding themselves up. We've talked to some of the people, the detainees who've been released, and they've comported themselves in a heroic manner. So I want you to know Biafra is not standing alone. It has friends on the international level, and we will be distributing this worldwide and calling out the governments of Nigeria and Cameroon, who are the ones who have instigated the arrest of Simon Ekpa and Lucas Ayabacho.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Attorney Levy, for that summary of what is going on and some clarifications needed. And we think very happy it's going to be taken from the level of the OES to let the world know what is going on. And Biafrans are very happy for your help and what you do. Again, this injustice, we have to call it out and give it the name that it is. Again, thank you. Let me start by, again, thanking and welcoming all Biafrans that are here. And first, I would like to let the world know that our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, is not a terrorist. Neither is Cho Ayaba, the Amazonian leader. They are only fighting for the freedom of their people. They are only fighting to free their citizens from the terrorist states of Nigeria and Cameroon. Nigeria is a terrorist state. The terrorism that goes on in Nigeria today is being perpetuated and is being encouraged by the policies of Nigerian leaders currently led by President Tinubu. The programs, the policies they have in place, such as the reintegration and rehabilitation of known terrorists, have increased terrorism in Nigeria. The master plan to Islamize Nigeria has made these reintegrated terrorists to be sent to places like the Biafra land, where they now kill innocent Biafrans who do not wish to be Islamized by the Nigerian state. That is what is going on. The plot by the Nigerian president and the Nigerian government to take away our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, has contributed to a lot of deaths in Biafra land. The essence of this press conference today is to let the world know and to let Biafrans know that the fight for our freedom, the fight to be free, the fight for us to rule ourselves, is continuously being destroyed, being undermined, being plotted against by the Nigerian government, using different avenues to do this. One of the avenues they've used to do this is to plan with the with the Nigerian Foreign Affairs Secretary of State, whom Tinubu recently appointed, to plan to complain with the Finnish embassy in Nigeria to remove our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, just weeks before our declaration in Finland. Nigeria orchestrated this. Nigeria planned this. Using the Foreign Affairs Secretary of State, they appointed minister. And they were able to work closely with Finland, with the Finnish authorities, to remove our Prime Minister just weeks before the declaration of our independence in Lahti, Finland. Their plot is, by removing our Prime Minister, we are not going to be able to declare our independence in Finland. They succeeded in removing our Prime Minister weeks before our declaration. But we Biafrans, we were resolute. And we were able to still redeclare Biafra. We did that in Finland on November 29th, 2024. Another way, the Nigerian state, who the whole world knows, Nigerian state, that have continued to subjugate Biafrans, that have continued to kill innocent citizens of Biafra, have continued to marginalize Biafrans, have continued to destroy and block our self-determination, is by sending their reintegrated terrorists into the Biafra territory to continue to kill our people, kill innocent citizens, just for mentioning Biafra, just for our belief, just for fighting for our freedom. I want the world to know Nigeria is a terrorist state, and they have their tentacles spread across the world. Finland has become one of the stooges being used by the Nigerian government and Norway to suppress our rights as individuals, to suppress our freedom, to suppress our self-determination. How else could Finland keep our Prime Minister for this long while you are carrying out an investigation? We see some racist tendencies in this plot and in this plan to continue to detain a Finnish resident on the claims and on the purported crime that Nigeria state, that is known for terrorism and supporting terrorism, killing Christians, mass burying individuals in all parts of Nigeria, but in Borno State, in Zamfara State, in Kaduna State, in Lagos State, in Southeast, in South-South, in Ehamufu, in Azambo, in Onisha, in Aba. There have been mass massacre of innocent citizens by the Nigerian state. Nobody is accounting for this. In most cases, the president makes no speech about that. The ministers working with him makes no speeches about that. The January killings of 2025, where innocent Biafrans were killed in their homes in Biafra territory, in Southeast Nigeria. The Nigerian government has refused, has not said anything about that. The Southeast governors, South-South governors, none of them is talking about that. How can a people continue to keep quiet when their people are being killed and massacred daily? And Finland and Norway, you want to become part of this You want to become part of this crime, to continue to play a role in this system. That is something we will never accept. Another way they try to do this is to break the spirit of Biafrans. Just on the mere lies the Nigerian government has given them. The Nigerian state has given all these fabricated lies against us. So it's not even about Simon Ekpa. It's not even about Chua Yaba. It is about the plan, the continued plan by the Nigerian government and the ministers that work under them to continue to suppress the freedom of the Biafrans, to continue to kill us, using different avenues they have across the globe to do this. We want to bring it to the attention of the world that any foreign government that is participating in this criminality against the Biafran people or innocent citizens or the Amazonians that have the right to self-determination, that foreign government is part of the crime. From terrorism to fundraising to whatever, to instigation. Why should Finland continue to hold our prime minister, reprimand him all these months when no crime has been established? Yes, you can say that it is the law in Finland to do that. But are you going to do the same thing if that citizen was a white citizen? If racism is not playing a part? There have been documentaries about the role Finland has been playing recently to subjugate and to intimidate blacks who are fighting for their freedom. This is one example right here in front of us. Our prime minister has committed no crime. Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is not a terrorist. Our prime minister has committed no financial crime. All he has done is exactly what millions of Biafrans are doing every single day, which is for us to rule ourselves. We have the freedom, we have the rights to do that. We've conducted a self-referendum where over 50 million Biafrans, both at home and abroad, has voted for us to exit Nigeria. The continuation plot by Finland to continue to listen to Nigeria and be the one investigating on behalf of Nigeria for the reports Nigeria gave to them, and then in that same angle continue to hurt innocent Biafrans is unacceptable. It is totally unacceptable. I've been able and had the opportunity to talk, just like Attorney Levy has said, the Biafran citizens that were held by the Finland government. We are in these individuals who are arrested at the same time with our prime minister. We've heard their story. We've heard the intimidation. We've heard how their businesses were affected and destroyed within the period that they were held by the Finland government. And yet, at the end, no crime was established against them. These are innocent Biafrans that the Finland government picked from their different homes, destroyed their businesses by blocking their accounts, blocking their source of income for months. And at the end, no crime was established on these individuals except What was your relationship with Biafra? What were you doing? How do you know Simon Ekpa? How were you donating? How is this a crime? And Finland can fall so low to listen to Nigerian government to continue to perpetuate this heinous crime against Biafrans because of the lies that were sent to Finland and then Norway by extension. One of these individuals almost lost his life because of the way he was locked up inside the van. Finland police used to arrest him. It was so small. The guy was panting for breath. He couldn't breathe until he started banging on the door. And they have to open that to let fresh air come in. So he would have been dead. Why must Finland continue to instigate this suppression and tampering with individuals' basic human right from the instigation they get from the Nigerian government? Why must Finland play a role in this kind of injustice? This is not acceptable. This must stop. The Nigerian terrorist state, the defense chief, Christopher Musa, has publicly come out to tell the world that Nigeria is fighting an asymmetrical war with Biafra, Finland, and Norway, and the world. What is asymmetrical war? That means Nigerian government has continued to kill innocent Biafrans just because they want their freedom. It is on public domain. So Finland cannot claim or say they do not know there is a war, a silent war currently going on between Biafra and Nigeria. Finland cannot claim ignorance of that. The killing is going on in Biafra territory. The killing is going on in different parts of Nigeria. Finland has that information. Why do you continue to pretend as if you do not know what is going on or what the Nigerian state is capable of doing? How are you facilitating the torture and killing of Biafrans by the Nigerian government? The world knows. The world knows how Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. Biafrans are Christians. And the Nigerian government is not doing anything to protect the lives and properties of innocent individuals. Nigeria is a failed state. Why should Finland and Norway continue to toe the path of going with a failed state when you should be on the path of freedom, justice? Finland, you fought a brutal war to be free today where you are. Knowing what you know and what you did. How and why should you pretend as if you don't know what the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is doing? Rather, you are listening to the terrorist state of Nigeria and all the lies that they told you. And based on that, you are restricting him. And you also took our innocent brothers and sisters, our innocent Biafran brothers, and you locked them up in solitary confinement. Why should you lock people up in a solitary confinement based on the report that Nigeria terrorist state government has given you, Finland? Why should that happen? That is not acceptable. If Nigeria is using asymmetrical war to kill our people, we have the right to defend ourselves. We have the right to self-determination. We have the right to self-defense. And how do you think we are going to do that? You think we are going to do that by using woods and using brooms to face and attack terrorists that are armed with AK-47 coming into Biafra land? Is that what you will encourage your own citizens to do? Finland and Norway. That is why we raise funds. We will continue to raise funds for self-defense. We will continue to raise funds for self-determination. We will continue to raise funds to confront the terrorists that are sent by Nigerian government, the reintegrated terrorists that are sent by Nigerian government to come to our homes and kill us. We will continue to do that. And at this time, Biafra is an independent nation. And we want you to know that. Any Nigeria reintegrated terrorist wearing Nigerian military uniform or police, they must leave Biafra land, because we have declared our independence. We have redeclared the independence we had between 1967 and 1970. United States of Biafra at this point is a sovereign state. And we will continue to do everything within the right of a sovereign state to be free from the terrorist state of Nigeria. We request the immediate release of our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Your continuous holding of our Prime Minister has caused deaths of innocent citizens in Biafra territory, Finland. And you will be held accountable for these innocent lives that are being lost in Biafra land because of your continued incarceration of our Prime Minister. I want to also use this opportunity to tell Nigeria to withdraw all their military and police and security in Biafra land. We have our Biafra map. The map of the 40 states of Biafra is well established. The geographical area of Biafra territory is well established. We've conducted our self-referendum where over 50 million Biafrans have voted to exit Nigeria and be an independent nation. We have our allies that we are working with closely that have supported the independent state of Biafra. We are calling on the Nigerian government and the Nigerian state to know that Biafra, United States of Biafra, is an independent nation. We demand the withdrawal of all Nigerian military and police troops inside the Biafra territory. I also want to use this opportunity to encourage Biafrans to please desist from speculations and rumors. Some of the speculations and rumors you've heard recently, we don't need it at this time. Our Prime Minister does not need these distractions at this time. We want every Biafran. I encourage any Biafran that is engaging in such distractions, in such rumors,